Welcome to MCG Labs. Here are your hosts, Mario and Stephen G, with editor Noel. Enjoy the ride. In the first few minutes of this episode, Mario experiences some audio technical difficulties. We're sorry for the inconvenience.
Hey guys, my name is Mario. Welcome to MCG Labs, and today we're discussing about the new trailer, The Blue Beetle. And here we are with my host, Stephen G, and our super special guest, Chad. Say hi, guys.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on? How you doing?
All right. We're doing pretty good, Chad. I'm glad you're here today and give us some input and thoughts and theories on this new trailer that's coming out August 18th on my birthday. Woo!
Nice.
Excited for that. And of course, you are going to watch it. So, what do you guys think as far as what you saw the first time when you saw the Blue Beetle trailer? Steven?
Well, we saw it together in the break room. It has a different feel from any other DC movie that we've seen so far. You know, from Aquaman, Man of Steel, Justice League. It's really more. How do I put it? Not lighthearted, but more of like a Marvel feel to it. But it's amazing. A lot of, this is a new character that I barely know. I don't know about you, Chad. I don't know if you know a lot about Blue Beetle. I don't know a lot about him.
No, I'm pretty novice that character. I know there's quite a few different incarnations, so I was interested to see which one they were going to go after. But I don't know too much about the character itself.
What about you, Mara? Do you know, I don't know if you know a lot about Blue Beetle.
Well, I did some research, and I know that Blue Beetle in the comic book is played by Jaime Reyes, and his home world is Earth. Species is human. His affiliations is, of course, with the Justice League International and formerly the Reach. And I just found out that the Reach and the Green Lantern Corps were actually butting heads 40,000 years ago. And I guess they came to a treaty. But as far as for the Blue Beetle, before this guy, Jaime Reyes, took over the mantle, it was another person by the name of Ted Core, which he is the founder of, I want to say, the Core Enterprise that we saw the blue or that purple building that they showed in the trailer. But Ted Core, I do believe he didn't have the special abilities that the Scarab gave you. Because the Scarab is actually from what's the name of this? Well, they're an insectoid race, and they conquer all these planets, and they developed this biological weapon called the Scarab. And when I guess somehow Ted Core got it, but he couldn't fuse with the Scarab. So his abilities, I guess it was like another Batman. He just used his technology, whatever he had, and then he built all these other neat weapons, but he could kill anybody. But unfortunately, went into his demise, he actually passed the Scarab to another person. But in the movie, I guess it was supposed to be his sister, I do believe. But the Blue Beetle guy, Jaime Reyes, I guess he is from El Paso, Texas. He found it somehow, and it kind of fused with his body. And but the only thing about this Blue Beetle thing is the Scarab, once it fuses to your spine, you get these special abilities and stuff, and which it's pretty awesome that we saw in the trailer. But the only thing is that this guy doesn't know that I don't know if it's going to be probably months or years or maybe a millennia, that all the data, like in the movies, you can see where he was getting all the little pictures and little things of like who the people were.
Right.
That was data that was being collected from the Scarab, because all that is being transported to the Reach over, I don't know, galaxies away. But apparently they collect all this data. They come in and they conquer Earth. They conquer wherever planet where this Scarab belonged or the Scarab fused with. But
but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to get dark.
Yeah.
With this movie right now, it's kind of super happy and what have you. But I'm excited to see where this goes. Yeah, it's going to be. I guess with every movie, especially with this new DC guy, it goes super bright, and then it's going to go dark.
Right.
So, but I'm glad that the guy that's playing the Blue Beetle is Miguel from
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
But you know what's cool is that, you know, during the trailer we saw, you know, George Lopez. I don't know if that's his dad or his uncle, and then Susan Sarandon, which I think she's probably going to be in charge of. I think she's like the head of Reach, maybe, and then she's probably going to want, you know, she's probably going to, you know, pretty much tell, you know, Jaime Reyes that, you know, the Scarab's mine, and, you know, pretty much I need it back. But I feel like with, you know, he's going to say, well, I can't give it to you because it's fused with me. Either that, she's going to try to kill him, and then the Scarab will have no other choice but to go back to the Reach. But I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Like, just his powers alone, what we saw in the trailer, you know, it can, you know, he morphs into the, you know, Blue Beetle suit, armor configuration, you know, he, you know, has all these weapons, you know, shields, all this other stuff. And Chad, when you were watching the trailer, you know, were you blown away by it, or because from all the other past DC movies that we've seen?
I was blown away by it, but I've learned to kind of pump the brakes because DC has a history of releasing trailers that look amazing, and then the movie kind of falls flat. Not in a bad way, but they kind of shoot their load and show everything in the trailer. But with this trailer, I was blown away. The suit was awesome. I just love the whole vibe of the movie. I got a little bit of a Tony Stark Jarvis vibe when he was kind of talking to the suit. So I thought that was kind of cool. They even showed, I think it's kind of his arch nemesis. It's called Carpax, the indestructible man. At first, I thought it was like Craven. The guy looked like him. But so that's interesting. It's kind of hard. I don't know too much about Blue Beetle, but just the trailer alone was very promising. And I love the characters they have with it, you know, and I like the little pun at the end where they talk smack on Batman, calling him a fascist. Kind of hurt my heart, but you know, I'm excited about it. You know,
and like, do you have any, like for you both, question for both of you guys? Do you see, you know, Blue Beetle? You know, where do you see his future as far as, like, you know, future DCU movies? First to you, Mario.
Well, I know that the Blue Beetle was formerly a sidekick of Batman, and he was actually in the animated series called The Batman. Oh my gosh, it started back in 2008, and it was only for 3 seasons. But he was there, and oh gosh, he was actually being manipulated by the Scarab, and Batman was trying to help him as far as, you know, it's your mind, you know, fight it with your mind. And ultimately it began to go his way. But I'm pretty sure we are going to see probably Batman and the Blue Beetle fight side by side with a nemesis coming up pretty soon, or maybe even small villains until they reach into Darkseid. That's what I think. How about you, Chad?
You know, I was trying to research on this last night, and James Gunn himself, who's kind of the head of, you know, DC right now, or kind of formulating everything, he hasn't quite said, yes, Blue Beetle is going to be in his plan. But part of me thinks that if this movie does well, it will be, because originally this movie was slated to be on HBO Max, and they kind of changed things around to make it a full release. So I think they're finding promise in it, hopefully. But like I said, he hadn't wholeheartedly say, yes, Blue Beetle is going to be a part of the universe. He said he's in the DCU universe, but he kind of didn't say he's in my vision. So take that for what you will. I know he's kind of trying to fresh start with everything, and this movie isn't quite his yet. So it's kind of, who knows what's going to happen. It is a big question mark around DC right now. Are they going to keep anything with Shazam? You know, so there's a lot of things that it's like, I don't know. And I don't think he knows yet, really. Or he does, but he doesn't want to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and this is like besides The Flash, because that's coming out in June, this is the first ever DCU movie, ever for the new lineup. So this is, I have, somewhat high hopes for this movie just because the trailer alone, when me and Mario watched it, we were just like, dude, this is insane, and, I, throughout the whole day, we just kept rewatching it. I'm just like, dude, this is insane. And then I think, Mario, did we watch a video of like a review of this, I think that was the Blue Beetle trailer. And then someone mentioned that pretty much Jaime Reyes, the Blue Beetle, is the DCU version of Spider-Man, which is kind of true. You look at it and then you're just like, oh, it looks like the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War, Endgame, and so on and so forth. And so I'm like, that's kind of accurate. Yeah, that is pretty true, So I don't know how you feel about that, Chad.
That didn't dawn on me till you said it, but yeah, that you hit it spot on. You do get Spider-Man vibes and all that, but if they go with that, fine, then I don't mind it, and they got a great character to play him, and I'm excited about it. The trailer's promising and the character's promising, so I'm glad they're hashing out different characters than kind of the same ones that they always use, if that makes sense.
No, and then Mario, you had a theory about a crossover for Jaime Reyes and Spider-Man. That you said that if there was ever a crossover that them two should team up, or which would be pretty cool if they ever did a crossover, like years down the road, or I don't know if it'd ever be possible.
I think it would be awesome if they probably did a crossover, and I wouldn't know. I mean, just maybe even just to, I don't want to say end it all with all DC and Marvel, but it would be something like if even, I know they're going into the timeline multiverse as far as going into the Flash this coming June, but if in doubt, if this ever happens, I would love to see Spider-Man even cross over to the DC part and help the Blue Beetle defeat, even their nemesis, or even Blue Beetle coming over this way to the Marvel side, and then fight Galactus. That would be super awesome.
That'd be cool.
Not the whole DC universe. It'll be an epic crossover. I think all of us would probably be in the movies, just gaga, like what's going on. But it would be an awesome thing to see that. I'm sure we've seen like video games where they do crossover from X-Men to DC, and then comic books that, one of a kind things. And it's really, it was an awesome thing to see that it actually happened. And then, theory wise, it could happen, but then you're talking about something that would actually change everything completely. And then see what these guys can actually give us, as far as for us nerds who are, really going into this movies and stuff, even for the guys that are just starting out and they are enjoying this and just seeing this come to life, and then seeing their favorite superheroes or favorite villains taking on somebody. But I would love to see that happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys already saw the Blue Beetle and Spider-Man doing a fist bump to each other. I mean, it's all over Twitter, it's all over Instagram and Facebook. It's pretty cool. But when I saw it, it did give me vibes that it's the DCU's version of Spider-Man. But when I saw it, I goes, yeah, I can see it. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man's got the run for his money. And who knows? We're probably going to see a lot of little Blue Beetles running around for Halloween, as far as for what's going on and all that for trick-or-treaters. But it's something amazing, and something happening, and something that I'm looking forward to it. And James Gunn is doing his thing, but hopefully this is going to be one of them that it's probably going to stay for a while. So
let's hope.
Let's just hope. Let's just hope, right, Chad? I just hope. I mean, they're giving us great high hopes, but then when they pull the rug out and we're like, God darn it, what?
Yeah.
You kidding me again? I mean, like we always said, the animated movies were way better than the films by far. It was dark, there was blood, and then they even tell you, it's either PG-13 or even PG-18 or a rated R. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that I saw that just blew my mind. But I'm excited for this movie, and I'm excited to see who's going on. And I just hope. Do you think you guys you think there will probably be a oh gosh, what do you call it? A post-credit scene?
I think there would be like, like how Mario, how you mentioned earlier that Batman is, he's the mentor, to Blue Beetle. He's training him to do all this stuff. And I was gonna say to you, Chad, as far as Batman's go, who do you think is gonna stick around? Do you think Pattinson, Affleck, or you think Keaton's gonna stick around?
Well, I know Pattinson is going to be sticking around because I think they're going to be in their own universe. As for, I think Ben Affleck has stated he's completely done after the Flash, like he's no more. I think he went on record saying that. I don't know what their plans are for Keaton, if they plan on going forward or not. My gut feeling says James Gunn wants a fresh start, and for the Brave and the Bold, Batman wants a brand new Batman. So I'm not quite sure. I'm almost certain they're going to stick with Pattinson and just have that be its own thing adjacent. And then we're going to get a brand new Batman whenever the Brave and the Bold comes out, which I'm excited for, because you're going to have two different stories and more Batman. So hell, I'm down for that, so.
Well, because like I was thinking about, an end credit scene, either one or two for Blue Beetle. It would be kind of cool to see like, a new he's either in his room or he's somewhere and he gets a message from, an anonymous, person. He goes, we got to meet up, and I can help you train to control the Blue Beetle, the Scarab. And then at the end, it's like, who are you? Tell me. And then all you just see is a bat symbol. Either it's a new one or an old one. That'd be kind of cool to see. I wouldn't mind seeing a new Batman. That'd be cool. Because like you said, the Brave and the Bold is going to be a new movie on the lineup. So it would make sense for the Blue Beetle to finally begin his training with the Batman, so that'd be kind of cool to see. I don't know about you, Mario and Chad. I don't know if you guys have any theories about a end credit scene.
Well, actually, on the Brave and the Bold, actually, that's where the animated series began in 2008 through 2011, where Batman did have the Blue Beetle as a sidekick. So, like James Gunn said, whatever you guys watch, as far as for animated movies to films to even video games, it's all going to affiliate into the movie somehow. But I do believe it's going to happen in the future releases of Batman with, Brave and the Bold. And I would love to see that to where, Jaime Reyes just gets all effed up in the head as far as, the Scarab's telling him to conquer. And Batman's there telling him, no, 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 no. And then just go from there. But yeah, how about you, Chad?
I would love to say I don't really have any ideas as to what a post-credit scene could be, but what Steven said earlier about kind of him getting a message about, I could take you under my wing and kind of help you, and it's Batman. I think that would be awesome. Being as big as a Batman fan as I am, I did not know him and Blue Beetle kind of teamed up, so I learned something new. So that's yeah, exactly. Boom. So that's pretty awesome right there. So if that happened, that'd be super cool. And if it does go forward with James Gunn, then it would be a new Batman most likely. And what a better way to kind of introduce him or kind of get that little tease out there. And then this movie. So yeah, I'm down for that. And I kind of agree with what you guys are saying.
Hey, I have another theory. Okay, since HBO Max is coming out with something Green Lantern coming up in the future, right?
Green Lantern Corps. It's supposed to be like a detective space series or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking probably one of my theories is it's probably going to go into that because the Scarab or the Reach and the Green Lantern Corps, they're in conflict all the time, but then they did a post-treaty 40,000 years ago. But the Reach made a promise. Okay, we're going to do this, but we're not going to invade any other planet, blah, 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 unless they invite us over. But in order for them to stop, that's how they developed the Scarab and they deployed it. So I have a feeling we're probably going to see somebody from the Green Lantern Corps, and then it's going to go into the TV series for HBO Max.
I can get along with that. I can see that.
James Gunn did say when you took over that from TV to movies to major releases, everything is going to be connected in one way or the other. So that could be very likely. They could be doing that, and that'd be awesome, So
Because like
I'm down for that.
during the trailer, that big old building where Jaime goes to, I think he's either gonna get a job there or something like that. I was telling Mario this earlier, Chad. I don't know if you would agree with this. That in the main office, that he's like walking around and he sees a green ring, and he goes, "What?" Jaime's like, "Well, what's that?" He goes, "Oh, it's a souvenir from a long time ago from my ancestors. We all believed in power," and he goes, "This ring symbolizes power, which is a Green Lantern ring that they either stole or they killed the host that had the ring and kept it for themselves." So I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to see, like, a little reference to the Green Lantern Corps that's going to be coming soon, as far as, Reach, Blue Beetle, and then so on and so forth. So I don't know. That'd be kind of, like I said, be kind of cool to see. It'd be funny if Ryan Reynolds came back. He's like, "What am I doing here?" Oh, the Green Lantern.
Well, did you see
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, because there was a reference. Well, they were talking about the part. Remember the Blue Beetle? Well, where he was parting the city bus in half.
Yeah.
And then he went like this.
Yeah.
And he looked around. Deadpool did the same thing on, I think, part 2 or part 1, where he did something and he went like this, and I was all like, okay. And so are they trying to tell us something to where, like, oop, I effed up, sorry, but I don't know. But they were saying there's a lot of references to Deadpool in this movie and other stuff. So I just hope that it's an awesome movie once we go see it on August 18th of this year, 2023. I just can't wait for this at all. As far as for this movie coming out, Chad, do you think that maybe there's probably going to be a part 2 to this, or is it going to go probably you're done and it's going to go to something else?
I would say if this movie utterly bombs at the theater, there won't be. If it does moderately well and there's good success, there will be a sequel, and maybe they'll bring him more into the fold of James Gunn's universe. I have a feeling that's what they're thinking. But if the movie is as good as what the trailer is showing, I don't see why there wouldn't be a sequel. It looks good. It looks exciting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions, things tied to the Green Lantern Corps and all that they won't be able to answer in the first movie. So, like I said, unless it does utterly terrible at the box office, I don't see why they wouldn't do a sequel,
What do you think, Mario? Do you think there will be a part 2, depending, like you said, like Chad said, if it does a good release, it does good, in the box office? You think there'll be a part 2?
You know what? It's hard to say. I mean, it depends on how he does. I mean, when Spider-Man came out, I mean, everybody knew that there was going to be, he has all these super villains, always the Vulture, and you got the Goblin, Scarecrow, and all that. But you always saw him finding all these nemesis, in the part 1, part 2, part 3, and then ultimately all 3 of them came together in one of the movies.
No Way Home.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's hard to say what the Blue Beetle. I mean, it could. I'm not downing it or anything, but I just got to see. I know there is a red beetle, and then I know there's a black beetle, and these guys are actually the part of the Reach in their universe, and they're conquerors. And I don't know if they're going to come into the point where actually they're going to fight. It's hard to say. But if that happens, I would like to see a part 2 to this, or even him being affiliated with another team. I mean, like when we saw Spider-Man in Endgame, you only saw a little piece of him there fighting, but then you saw Tony Stark taking him under his wing as far as what needed to be done. But hopefully Batman will do the same for this guy, and then it's gonna go probably into other movies as well. But yeah, I would love to see a part 2 if that. But if it bombs, I hope it doesn't. But I just hope that he does maybe some references from Cobra Kai.
That'd be sick. That'd be funny. That would sweep the leg.
That would be kind of funny, especially like remember when Cobra Kai Miguel was falling and he kept going like this, falling. So what if he did that in the movie where you see him goes, hey, that's like a thing. He goes, hey, or he's falling like from the earth, like from space, and then he's falling down, and then you see him doing that, and he goes, hey, why am I having deja vu? I would probably.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you much, guys. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys go watch the Blue Beetle coming out August 18th at 4DX. If you guys can, that'd be super awesome because that's when the chair shape. But thank you, Chad. Thank you, Steven. Thank you so much. I'm your host,
Thank
Mario.
you, guys.
MTG Labs, go ahead and subscribe and like, and tell us what you think about Blue Beetle down in the comments below. And what are your expectations? Part 2, probably. Let us know. Thank you so much, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us at MCG Labs. We hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.